Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Trish, and as you can see, I'm in my backyard today. I'm in our little vegetable area, and this is where all the magic happens that I take back to the kitchen sometimes. And actually, I'm out here today for those of us who are gardeners, or even if you just like to watch things grow. I hope this will be inspiring for you and enjoyable. Today I want to put a twist on one of our favorite Jamaican dishes. It's ackee and saltfish. And I'm going to be swapping out the cod, the salted cod, which is saltfish, for some veggies. And I'm going to be serving it up with some flatbreads. Typically, this dish is served with, this ackee and saltfish is served with fried dumplings and or some boiled ground provision for those of us who don't know. And yeah, I hope that at the end of the video you guys would have liked it and find reason to continue to support us. If you are still using codfish in your ackee, don't shy away from this video. Still put your codfish in, because all the veggies are going to do is add more nutrients to your meal. And so I'm going to go ahead and gather the rest of what I need for breakfast. All right, hang tight. I'm going to go in and check to see if I can get a couple more baby zucchinis. Now these zucchinis grow to like triple that size, but because I like them when they're so tender, I'm going to go in, and they produce so much that this is absolutely no loss. As a matter of fact, the more I take off these baby zucchinis, the more this plant is going to produce. So I think I have enough here for my ackee. I have a couple more there, but I'm going to leave them just in case the bees haven't gotten to them yet. And I'm also going to be adding some Swiss chard to the ackee. So I'm going to go in here and get a couple of those. These are my lettuce, and they're going to seed right now. We did have a good time reaping a lot from them. So I have a shade cloth over. I'm going to reach under and get a couple of these Swiss chard leaves here, which are just so delicious. And then I'm going to get some thyme and scallion. All right, I'm actually going to take, this is our Egyptian skipping onion, and what happens is this part, it grows to this length and it gets heavy, then it falls like about right here, and then it starts to grow up from there, thus the name skipping onion. I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and I'm cutting this, but it's in a couple of days it's going to start to grow from here again. I'm also going to go ahead and get some thyme, because we need thyme, right? What is anything without thyme? It's kind of hard doing this with one hand, but we're gonna get it done, right? There we go. All right, so I think I've gotten everything that I want. So let's get to cooking. Okay guys, so what we're gonna need for our flatbread is some grain. If you're using grains, I'm using kamut here. You can use spelt grains, whatever grain you have, you use. Or if you have flour, it's 2 cups of flour, whatever flour you're gonna be using. And you can either use fresh garlic or like I have here. Okay guys, sorry about that disturbance. Someone was vacuuming. But anyway, yeah, fresh garlic or garlic sprouts like I have here, salt and baking powder. You'll need a mill or a dry Vitamix machine to grind your grains, and you'll need a utility pan. Some water, like I said before, or did I not? I can't remember. And some yogurt. So that's what you're going to need for the flatbread. Okay, so for the ackee, you're going to need ackee here. Because of the size of my family, I'm using 2 cans. And you're going to need some vegetables if you're using no saltfish, right? I'm using Swiss chard and some baby squashes and some zucchini and squash flowers, lots of thyme, and lots of scallions. If you have Scotch bonnet, that would be even perfect, but my Scotch bonnet peppers aren't in yet. So that's what you'll need, unless you want to add anything else, and a little bit of powdered seasoning that we're going to get into. All right, let's get starting on our flatbread first. Actually, the first thing I like to do is to drain my ackee, right? So this is what I do. My colander, add my ackee real gently because they are already cooked, so they're soft. And it's like an insult where I'm from to serve mushy ackee. So we're trying to preserve the form of it. And this brand always seems to have ackee that's in its form pretty well. So then I rinse really well, even though it's just in salt and water. But I rinse really well and allow that to drain. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is grind our flour. And 2 cups of grain will yield me probably 2 cups and a little bit of flour. All right. I'm going to go ahead and spare you the noise. So I did grind that for a full minute, okay? And I actually did do it nice and smooth this time. One of the reasons I like to grind my flour, guys, one might be saying it's so much of a fuss, you know, when you can get it in the store. But when I started grinding my flour, right, I left mine out in my flour container on my countertop for just 3 days. And within 3 days, it started to have this rancid smell. And so I was like, why or how did this happen? You know? And usually when I would buy flour that claims to be freshly ground, or not even freshly ground, but claim to be whole flour, it's sitting on the shelf for days, weeks at a time, months at a time, you know, so what's going on? So after that, you know, no matter how much fuss it takes for me to pull this grinder out and grind my grains, I just think it's worth the fuss. All right. So if you're not grinding yet, maybe this testimonial will give you a change of mind. All right, let's get started. Another thing is it gives you control of the coarseness of your flour. You know, if you're doing, like if I'm doing dumplings or so, I tend to grind it and let it be on the coarse side, right? But you know, I'm making my flatbread, I kind of make it a little more fine. Okay, so in this cup, in this utility bin, I have about 2 and maybe a quarter cup of flour. Your yield is going to be a little bit more. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. All right, and about 3 tablespoons of yogurt. Now you can use whatever yogurt you're in. This is dairy yogurt, but you can use non-dairy. Doesn't matter, right? I've used both and they came out perfectly, just the way I want it. Okay, so here I have my garlic sprouts. You can use about, I'd say maybe 1 finely chopped fresh garlic, but I prefer the garlic sprouts. So I'm using 4 garlic sprouts. I'm just gonna cut that in there with my scissors, just like so. What does it taste like, you say? It's kind of mild. It's a crossing between chives and garlic, right? And so I'm going to go in with my hands now. You can also put fresh rosemary. You can add thyme, whatever herbs you like. Makes it more interesting. I'm going to go in with my hands and combine this before I even add my water. Okay guys, so now we're gonna be working on our veggies. All right guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is chop our onions. And I'm chopping up everything because Ackee just tastes better with scallion than onion to me. And I'm sure a lot of islanders will agree with that. Am I gonna chop the skipping part in it too? Yep, chopping up everything in there. It is edible. That's where the seeds would be. Okay guys, so now we're gonna chop our Swiss chard, and yeah, I'm gonna cut the stems off, but they're not gonna go to waste. We're gonna use them in smoothies. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put one cut through. These are Swiss chards, rainbow. Red and green. Yellow, they're not doing so well, so even more Swiss chard. And it might look like a lot, so if you see Swiss chard in the supermarket and you're planning on doing this, you have to get a whole lot because this shrinks down to, it's like spinach, it swinches or shrinks down to a quarter of what you're looking at here. Now I'm giving my baby zucchinis a little chop here. And as for the flowers, I really just take the stems off like that, add them whole because they cook up so fast. They look so pretty when you just lay them on top. So just put my flowers in just like that. All right, let's go over to the stove. Okay guys, so I had my skillet over here heating, and I'm gonna add approximately 2 tablespoons of oil, or maybe a smidget more. And then I'm gonna add my scallions, and I'm gonna add a pinch of salt just to help that to sweat, and some black cumin seeds. Now this add a little bit of peppery flavor to the whole thing here. I'm just gonna allow that to saute just a little bit. Tomatoes. Okay guys, so now we're gonna put in our Swiss chard. We're gonna dump everything in. All right, just be careful. Good job. All right, very good.
Swiss chard.
All right guys, we're just gonna cover this and allow it to steam for a little bit, and then we'll come back.
Flowers? I've never eaten.
Okay guys, sorry for the steam. We're going in. We're gonna stir our see how it reduced to about quarter this size. Just scrape all that goodness off the bottom. I purposely don't stir the tomatoes on the bottom because I want them to stay and kind of caramelize on the bottom. If you notice, I didn't stir once I put my Swiss chards in. And so see now, it's kind of caramelized on the bottom, and it gives it a nice flavor. All right, so I'm not gonna try to kill our Swiss chard, but we do want it to get cooked well enough. All right, so now we're gonna add a little bit of organic adobo, just a little bit, maybe a teaspoon, and some black pepper. I don't remember if we added black pepper. And we're gonna add our ackee. Once you pour the ackee in, all stirring is kind of over. You're pretty much just folding because you don't want this ackee to fall apart at all. Right, you're pretty much just folding gently. The brand that I buy, the Linstead Market, seem to always have their ackee in proper form. Some other brands, I don't know what goes on during packaging or shipping or whatever. Sorry for the knocking, but the ackee is all squished up. And here goes our flowers, guys. Favorite part. Just let them lay on top. They're just so pretty. And you close it up and allow all that flavor from the Swiss chard and the zucchini. I mean the squash. Remember, that can be eaten raw. So no need to worry about if it's not completely cooked. Just put some space in between so your flowers kind of go in. But if I could leave these flowers whole on top here, I would. But I know everybody won't eat that. So anyway, we're going to close her up and just let everything steam. Just like so. For about, I'd say, a good 10 minutes on your lowest setting. Or maybe 5 minutes on your lowest setting. Oh, how dare I forget thyme. You want to put thyme in also. But because I forgot to put the thyme in, we're going to have to give it some stir. I'm just going to try to fit it in here somewhere. But you can have raw thyme. Okay, so a little bit of steam here. It's just going to, you know, a little bit of heat. Just going to bring out the flavor. And that's fine. No major stirring has to occur. All right, keep it on low heat and then I'll show you. Okay guys, so breakfast is served and everyone is about to take their food. We have over here our, I forgot to show you guys what it looks like on the inside. See, it tears open really nicely. And it's nice and thin. All right, actually, we have some plantains as well. And there goes our ackee and veggies over there. I'm going to make a plate now and then actually have you guys tune in and see what it really looks like plated. Okay guys, here we are, all plated. Plantain, flatbread, and ackee, and no saltfish. I hope this video was inspiring for you guys and informative. And until the next video, thank you so much for subscribing. Please continue to do so. Please continue to share. Please continue to like. And I'll see you on the next video. God bless. Bye.